Hello and welcome, dear parent of the Scorpio child. How are you? I hope you're doing great. The readings this month are very late. However, I hope that you can still find value in them and also that they can still give you some insight or guidance for the remainder of December. And for those of you who are new here, just keep in mind that my readings are not gender specific, so you'll need to adjust and modify gender however it best resonates for you, your household, and your kiddo. And also, all age ranges are welcome here. So some of you are here for itty bitty ones, others of you are here for teenagers, and everything else in between. You are all welcome. Thank you for being here. I have already pre-shuffled, as you can see the video above, so we can get started. Let's do this. Okay. So in terms of what little Scorpio is experiencing here during the month of December, it's quite a grown-up energy that I'm feeling. And again, this can still apply for a little toddler, right? This can still be an energy that a toddler, a teenager, and anything in between, depending on the situation, it's going to play out differently, right? The scenarios are going to be different because there's certain things that little toddlers are doing and that a teenager outgrows, clearly. So in any case, here in December, little Scorpio is very much learning how to speak up for what they feel is fair and or unfair. There's something here that may have happened in the month of December that made them feel like they had to self-regulate and literally speak up for themselves or protect themselves or bring some level of equilibrium in their friendships. This can also be with siblings or others in their life. This is usually same age. With Three of Cups, it's more of a peer card, so it's not like something that's happening with adults. This is more something that's happening with another kiddo their age, or a sibling or a classmate or a neighbor. And there's something here that has taken place that has made them need to find their own equilibrium and stability in the realm of what feels just or unjust. It can be as simple as a 2-year-old playing with his or her toy, and little sibling comes along and rips it out of the hand, right? And so little Scorpio is forced to get really firm and stern about what they think is right or not right by either, I don't know, maybe taking their toy away or doing something. Again, it's going to play out differently depending on the age, right? This can be a teenager experiencing friendships that are not being nice, or maybe they're being gossipy and they're finding that they really need to ground a bit better. It's like a realization of what's fair and unfair here, and needing to balance himself or herself. It is a self-regulating card, especially paired with the Four of Pentacles, which is very beautiful, right? Because it's a skill set that little Scorpio is learning. But in any case, in order for little Scorpio to get to this point of having to, for lack of a better term, put the hammer down and, really call out what's fair. This is also a card of calling out what someone has done. So this could be that little Libra decided to tell, little Scorpio, that little Scorpio decided to tell either a teacher or parents about what's happening with other classmates. Maybe there's some gossiping going on, some bullying going on, something going on with a peer, a friend, a classmate. Something going on that's been observed by little Scorpio to be unfair, and they will bring it out into the open to bring some kind of stability, structure, and fairness. Talk about mature energy, dear parent. This is very interesting. And again, it can play out in different ways for different age ranges. Now, when we move into the conflict and challenge position, we have the Hierophant, we have the High Priestess, and we have the Seven of Wands. So again, the Hierophant is another card about order, structure, that kind of thing. So it can be as simple as, little Scorpio seeing that the structure, or maybe even the grown-ups in the environment, are not pulling their weight, or maybe seeing what's going on with other classmates, siblings, friends, etc. right? But also in terms of this conflict and challenge, there's also a sense that little Scorpio feels, it's like, it's almost like a little resistance and a bit of edginess and protection against the authority that's around, maybe because there's a sense of wanting to check out a little bit more, wanting to be more in a dream state kind of energy here. But there's something connected. There's something about this energy of feeling unjust, unfair, needing structure that spills back into the conflict and challenge here of needing more. It's almost like someone in the environment of little Scorpio didn't notice, didn't maybe pay attention and see what was happening in the background, or didn't catch that there was this gossiping or bullying or not so nice thing happening that's unfair. It wasn't caught by the authority because it's in a challenge and conflict position here next to the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is about things being hidden. It's also a dreamy energy, but the way that it's paired with the Hierophant, I'm getting the sense that there was a teacher. The Hierophant can very well be representative of a teacher, a principal, a coach, someone who leads a classroom, someone who is in charge, an authority figure who didn't quite catch this energy, or maybe they weren't happy with your little one of how they managed it, right? How they self-regulated, took it within their own hands and took care of it, essentially, right? And so there's an energy here in the conflict and challenge position that it's almost like your little Scorpio didn't find the support that they needed from someone in the authority realm. I hope that's making sense, but it's like I'm feeling that little Scorpio took it in their own hands and took care of the situation, and maybe felt a bit abrupt, or maybe someone in the authority realm felt that it was unnecessary, because it's also paired with the Seven of Wands, right? With the Seven of Wands is all about feeling defensive, feeling like, hey, no one's taking care of me, so I got to do this. You see how she's taking that wand? Those other wands are against her, and she has that one wand and she's backing herself up. That's the energy, dear parent. There's something here that happened where little one was like, well, fine, if you're not going to be on my side, I'm taking my sword and I'm going to lay down the law. That's what this is. And then in terms of the advice for you, dear parent, is to acknowledge that there was something that caused disappointment and sadness for your little one to get to this point of having to take care of business, basically, to having to take care of things in their own hands and make a decision or even a reaction, or like shut someone down or tell, like inform adults or others of what these other peers were doing or not doing. But there's a sadness that not everyone's backing him or her up. So your little one needs you. In terms of the advice position, what Spirit is advising you to do is to acknowledge a little one for what they had to go through or what they went through to get them to this point. Because there's also a card here, the Three of Swords is here reverse, meaning that this is basically what they had to do to self-heal, right? This is a card of starting the healing process or moving away from that which hurts us. So they took things into their own hand here. A little Scorpio, again, it can be as small as your little 2-year-old taking back his or her toy from somebody who wasn't fairly playing with him or her, right? And feeling sad because grandpa just scolded her. Like, why did you do that? Why did you take away the toy from so-and-so? And her knowing, I took my toy away because so-and-so wasn't being fair to me, right? And then you have this need to be acknowledged by someone where it's like, okay, honey, I know you're sad. I get why you had to do that. And it's okay. It's what you needed to do to take care of yourself and heal, right? And again, that same scenario can play out for a teenager, right? Depending on what's happening. Let's, for example, say you have a teenager who is being spoken against in an ill way, or they are noticing that their friend's being mistreated, and they decide to maybe go have a conversation with one of the kiddos who's being unfair to bring some stability. And maybe the principal didn't like how that went down, or some coach or another parent didn't appreciate that, didn't support the way your little teenager took care of things. Someone had to do it, right? Someone had to do it. And again, there's this need for you, the parent, to step in, acknowledge your little teenager or toddler or whatever, that what he or she did is seen, that they are right to feel sad and disappointed, that they were right to take it into their own hands. Of course, assuming they didn't actually like physically hurt someone, right? Because, and I doubt that. I don't see any wands. Well, this is the only wands card I see, which can be physical, but I think this has more to do with words. It has more to do with what was said and how it was said, and taking matters into their own hand, and maybe even telling on someone, and people being disappointed. So again, the advice from Spirit, dear parent, is to back up your child here by acknowledging that you understand why this caused them to go to that extent, and why they could potentially be sad, but that it was all necessary in the end for them to self-regulate and self-heal and take care of themselves. Because that's really the point of this, is that little Scorpio took care of himself or herself. And that's a beautiful thing, to be able to defend ourselves and to learn that skill set so early on. Okay, dear parent, I hope this was helpful, and I hope to see you back here again in January. Bye.